Quite honestly, I don't even know what's happening anymore. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to my channel. You know what we haven't done in a little while? Laughed at crazy leftists, which is, believe it or not, one of my favorite things to do. We have a long history of that here. So today I thought we could take a break from all the seriousness in the world, because it's depressing, to laugh at some dumb things that I found on the internet recently. You know, like how we should be eating other dead human beings in order to fight climate change. That's not a joke. Or how someone created a chair for bisexual people because they can't sit straight. Also not a joke. Or how the city of Perth in Australia has decided to make Christmas less Christian. Because that makes a lot of sense. I'm actually kidding. It makes no sense at all. Even Monopoly made a version of the game that is designed to help women get further ahead than men by giving them more money. In the game, of course. They don't try to do that in real life. But rest assured, none of this was quite as dumb as a video that Now This News released recently. In this video, they claim that referring to women as guys, in the sense of using the colloquial term to say like, hey guys, or whatever, is apparently sexist and I guess offensive to women. I mean, 'cause really, what's not offensive to these people these days? Hey guys seems innocuous, but here's why you might want to try a different greeting. This should be good.
Guys is a simple term. It could mean boys, or if you're modern, hip, it means people. At first glance, guys seems inviting, friendly, maybe warm, even comedic at times. But it, like many male default terms, should not be normalized as an all-encompassing phrase, innocent as it may seem. While we may understand the word means no real harm, with a deeper look, you'll understand that we've been ignoring the cognitive impact on women as well as gender non-conforming folks by only explicitly addressing the male-identifying individuals present.
Okay. Yeah, so if you missed it, the implication here is that it hurts women when you refer to them as guys. Because apparently it excludes them. And you guessed it, only includes men. Even though the term is literally defined in the dictionary to mean person, used in plural to refer to members of a group regardless of sex. Have a glass of water there, Karen. It's gonna be all right.
For decades, we have set a standard of only addressing the men in the room. Of course, we claim it's colloquial, but with our elevated knowledge and inclusive perspective, it just seems lazy, inconsiderate, and a small part of what reinforces the gender hierarchy today.
I wonder if that's the same gender hierarchy that gives women shorter prison sentences.
How is one to feel empowered to speak or assert themselves when upon greeting they're misgendered or even ignored in language? Can we be surprised that for decades women often felt uncomfortable asserting their voice when we didn't even take the time to properly acknowledge them?
Obviously, I'm a female, at least I'm pretty sure. And I plainly don't understand the mentality of women who are so fragile that they feel that you have to acknowledge their gender at every given opportunity. Like during every interaction that you have with them. Ever. Karen, honey, of all the things I'm interested in, your lady bits are not one of them. So just breaking down the logic here for a hot second, because guys has historically referred to men, now it can't be applied to women. But equally, by that exact same logic, every person ever who has been referred to as a guy could be offended because historically, the word also meant someone who was grotesque in appearance. That's not a joke. But genuinely, it makes absolutely no sense to act like the current meaning of a word doesn't count simply because it has historical origins meaning something different. Stop that.
These linguistic tendencies were developed and reinforced in eras where women were barely meant to be seen and certainly not heard.
Now, Karen, and I don't mean to burst your bubble or anything, but I looked into this a little. And apparently, by the early 1930s, Americans were only just beginning to use guys to refer to both men and women. When you then look at the frequency of the word's use in television and media, you find that it really didn't become popularized until the 1970s and onward. So really, if you think about it logically, which I know is not a feminist strong suit, We really started to use the term to refer to everyone, including women, well into women's suffrage. I mean, if you're looking on the bright side of life like I like to do, you could even say that the reason the word became so popular is because women were being included in, like, societal discussions or whatever. Point is, women were being heard. In fact, we still hear you. My God, do we hear you?
But when you stop valuing the personhood and visibility of individuals, you make it easier to dehumanize them on a macro scale, minimizing his, her, its, their right to respect and equality. I'm not offended, per se, if someone lumps me in with the guys. I'm sure there's really no malintent. In fact, if you and your friends want to freely address each other, by all means. I just want you to know that you're one small step away from making a more conscious effort to dismantle the patriarchy.
Who would have thought that not saying guys is actually fighting the patriarchy?
Don't believe me? Try walking into a room full of cisgender heterosexual men and triumphantly announce, "Hey gals, okay girls, thanks sis." I'm sure within 10 minutes, if not seconds, at least one person will correct you. We should all be as protective of our gender identities as a cisgender heterosexual man.
Oh my God, it's like they're not even trying. Nobody refers to women and men collectively by any of those terms. Those terms are specifically reserved for women, or by 2019 standards, humanoids with XX chromosomes. It would basically be the same thing as referring to everyone as boys or lads or dudes. Actually, come to think of it, dudes is becoming pretty gender neutral now. I guess avoiding using that word will also help you fight the patriarchy. But yeah, this argument makes no sense. Just an aside for a second, in girl world, when you refer to another woman as like sis or honey or whatever, that's actually usually you being passive-aggressive, and it's not very nice.
So what can you do? Substitute one "hey guys" with a simple "good morning everyone." Hi y'all, folks, everybody, scholars.
No.
Team if you're at work, campers if you're in the forest.
That one is, that's also a no.
Bayhive, because it's always appropriate.
Oh my God, they just keep getting worse.
You can say that all of this is silly or too PC, but there are always larger societal implications of language, the way we use it and weaponize it. Face it, the things we do and say matter. So if you do nothing else, repeat after me. I am powerful.
My goodness, that was remarkably difficult to watch. I guess the idea of this video is that referring to women as guys somehow marginalizes us. Fun fact, it doesn't. Truth be told, I sincerely doubt that this is even a thought for any strong, self-respecting female. And I mean, let's be honest here, the internet never forgets. And apparently the girl in this video used guys in a tweet. So there's that. When I looked into this a little bit more, for the first time ever, I was surprised to find it's only a fraction of women who are actually offended by the term guys. 3 guesses who they are. But something that did surprise me is that apparently the greeting, "Hey ladies," is sexist. What? Ladies, though, opens up a new can of worms. Caroline Howard, Forbes Woman Deputy Online Editor, who is herself guilty of you guysing, even in our 100% female office, has noticed that some women find "hey ladies" to be just as sexist. Honestly, I found this sentiment all over the internet on a bunch of different forums and things, and I don't really know what to make of that. I don't get it. We are ladies. Further, apparently referring to women specifically as girls is also hugely problematic and offensive. Outside of groups of friends, calling a group of women girls could be taken as condescending or worse. I'd like to purchase a ticket off of this planet, please. Now, because apparently dealing with other human beings in this day and age is just fraught with danger, I'm here to help. In case you do, in fact, feel offended by these words and wish to use other words to avoid offending others, I have compiled a short list of alternatives for you to try. I mean, I did find a pretty comprehensive list of gender-neutral terms that you could use, but it included things like yins and cohorts. But here are my suggestions instead. In the event that you have to put down your smartphone and actually interact with another group of people, try calling them sentient life forms or beings. And if those are still too offensive, you can also try entities and conceptual units. And if those are still too offensive, you're always safe with the term addressees. And failing that, bros is universally acceptable. Jokes aside, I really do dislike language policing of any sort. It's totally unnecessary and it doesn't even help the people that it's supposed to be representing. Like in this case, women and non-male life forms. Videos like this one, as stupid as they are, promote the idea that everything, including innocuous words, need to be examined, picked apart, and aggressively criticized because they don't represent or reflect every single shade of political correctness. Which basically just gets worse daily, as we all know too well. I personally hate these kind of videos because it makes us women look like victims and like we're far too weak to deal with hearing things that might offend our fragile female sensibilities. And in the end, saying guys is perfectly fine. And you scholar campers from the Bay Hive have my seal of approval. So what do you all think? Is this video actually insane? Or is there some truth to the claim that using male-orientated terms eventually hurts women? As always, if you like the video, hit subscribe and the thumbs up button. If you want to leave a comment, feel free to do so. Just be respectful about it. And I will see you guys next time.